All right, welcome back to the show, everybody. Hope you all are having a good day so far. And guess what? It's the end of the month. I can't believe we're already here again, but honestly, this came at a perfect time because I was hanging out with my boys last night, and now I'm a little hungover today. So let's do this, huh? This episode is going to be NBA Open Court, Head Games, and Fame. I'm gonna take a look real quick. How many more? We got so many more of these videos, guys. This is gonna be going easily until next year, this series. So in case you guys are new around here, at the end of the month, every single month, I like to mix it up. So we got the 23rd, celebrate MJ, 24th, celebrate Kobe, and we got the end of the month is now currently NBA Open Court Day. So there's a handful of you guys that absolutely love these videos, and then a bunch of you who just avoid them altogether. But for those of you who clicked on this one, you all know what you're in for. The original video is 44 minutes, so get ready to kick back for an hour with me and grab a drink, grab a snack, and do all that good stuff. And let's just kick back and have a good old time, all right? No drama, no BS to talk about. Let's just enjoy some old classic basketball discussions. And this should be interesting, Head Games and Fame. Because Fame, we all think we're, you know, like, money and fame would never change us, is what we all say. But it's hard to know unless you've actually been there. And these guys have been there. So it's going to be interesting to get their take on this. Anyways, as I always do, you guys, I'm going to leave the original video, the link down below in the description of this video. You also see a list of channel members. Shout out to channel members. I appreciate you guys. There's a nice list of you right down in the description. And I appreciate you all, guys. This is probably going to get demonetized like usual, but it's to be expected for something like this. Totally understandable. But I do this one just for fun because I know some of you guys enjoy it. And personally, I enjoy, you know, going back and revisiting this stuff. So let's do it. Like the vid if you could. Save your hype because it's not going to be monetized anyways. We'll save it for another one. I'd appreciate you. And here we go. End of the month.
Tonight. And a steal. Miller retreats to the three-point line. Weber imploring the crowd. Jimmy Smith hitting the ball.
I gotta tell you the truth. I was looking through my playlist of videos, you know, like stuff to react to right before this, and I was like, I don't really want to talk about that. I don't really want to talk about that or this or this. You know how it is to be hungover, and I don't drink very often. So me saying I'm hungover, this is a rarity. But then I realized what day it was, and I'm like, oh, end of the month. Let's go open court. Like, let's do it. No drama. Let's go.
Big time plays here by Steve Smith.
We just talk about basketball and the love for the game.
And welcome to Open Court. I'm Ernie Johnson. If you've seen the show, you obviously by now know the crew. The four-time NBA champion, Shaquille O'Neal, the Diesel. Hall of Famer, Dream Teamer, Circumference.
But they've seen the show.
Charles
Why you got
Barkley.
to repeat us then?
Because maybe they haven't seen the show. I said,
why did you say that?
Show. One of the all-time great clutch shooters in NBA history, Reggie Miller, is part of the crew. Thanks for holding your comments, Reg. Five-time All-Star and former Rookie of the Year, Chris Webber. 14 years in the NBA, Steve Smith, an All-Star and an NBA champion, went to the playoffs 13 times, and five-time NBA champion.
I gotta say, I loved how complete polar opposite the personality of Ernie and Charles is. Yeah, they are just absolutely perfect together. Like, still to this day. I don't know if you guys ever seen I was like the Steam Room or something. They had a podcast for a while. It might still be going. And these two are just gold. They're solid gold together. They bounce off each other like nothing.
With the Bulls and the Spurs, Steve Kerr, and finally the two-time NBA
Yeah, Steve Kerr, 5 rings, right? Him and Ron Harper.
Champion. And I've run out of things to say about Kenny the Jet Smith, but here is Kenny the Jet Smith.
Thank you, sir.
We all have superstitions, or some of us at least have superstitions. They come into play in the world of NBA basketball as well.
Handful here. Yeah, if he gives good dust here today. Yeah, I know.
Oh, this is going to be cool. So rituals. Okay. Hold on. Let's just see the contrast here.
As well.
Handful here. Yeah, if he gives good dust here today.
Yeah, MJ always did it to Red Kerr. He always, it was like an ongoing gag between them. And LeBron just puts it up in the air, man. I don't know what that is. He immediately blows on both hands.
Watch the routine and wipe his face 3 times on the right side.
I wonder if they're gonna show Steve Nash used to do the thing where he licks his fingertips and then he moves his hair out of the way with it.
We start a new string.
Now, my baby, sit back and enjoy game 1.
Reggie will just start there.
What was that?
Yeah, what was he doing?
David Benner. Yeah.
PR guy for the...
So how did that all start, and what was being said back and forth? You yelling at him, he yelling at you? What was going on?
I had a few bad games, and obviously him being his PR self came up to me and said, I guess you only play good when people talk bad about you.
Oh.
I was like, you know what? You're right. We're going to start this. So I started to get in his face and say, yeah, but you're not one of those players that could talk crap to me. So the camera started watching us doing that, and we just started adding to it, because then I would start cussing him out. You got bad breath. Your dentures are showing. Why don't you get a haircut? That's why your wife left you. And we just started doing all this. I would flick his nose and all like that, and it became a ritual.
Were there guidelines about how far you could go?
No,
in
I could say whatever I wanted. And then he would hand me a Diet Coke. I would swig it, and then go out and take a shot.
Did he say anything back?
He would never say anything. He just took it like he's supposed to just take it.
Okay.
Damn, Reggie.
I ain't afraid.
Yeah.
Definitely no smooth transition.
Run, everybody, run.
But take it, please.
I wouldn't call them superstitions. I would call them routines. Like, and it's funny because I talked to Charles and he's the exact opposite. When you might going to go to him. Like, I really wanted to take the same routine every day. And, I would want to drive the same way, leave the same time, get into the arena the same time, tie my shoes the same way. I don't think I was superstitious because I never did it any other way. So I don't know if I ever did it the other way, how I would have felt.
Because you were so superstitious,
I just kept my routine the same all the time.
That's that New York state of mind.
Right, exactly. I was the opposite of you, because if I played a good game or anything, I didn't want anything to have power over me. So if I had to take the wrong way, if I had to put on somebody else's shoes, I just wanted to stick with me. Anytime, anywhere. What did it say? We'll play you anytime, anywhere. That's how I wanted to be. So if I had a good game, bad game, it was nothing to me but, watch film and practice. Because I just felt like people give power to superstitions. That means your practice don't work. That means you can do everything right, but you don't tie your shoe first. The day's going. I just didn't do it.
All right. We should all chime in on our stuff, too. The only thing for me, I had two things I needed for a game. Not for practice or not for horsing around, but for an actual game. And both because I am J-Man. I needed a wristband. I'm sorry, not a sweatband on my left wrist in order to wipe my sweat off. And 2, I needed to be chewing bubblegum. And once again, that was an MJ thing, too. I just see him just chomping on it. And that was it. Those 2 things is what I need. I wasn't like Jordan where I needed to wear like a pair of shorts under my, like Carolina shorts under the bull shorts or anything. But that's all I needed. I needed those 2 things to feel good, and I still wanted to throw up before every game. All right, your turn, guys. What were the rituals that you needed to do before a basketball game?
I tried to develop a superstition.
So that's a superstition in itself, though.
It is.
Shaq's superstition is probably him taking a nap, him eating a big old turkey sandwich and then taking a nap.
My superstition was not
to be superstitious, which is totally ridiculous. Go ahead.
Damn, thank you. We on the same team. Hold on. You up here like, that's totally we're not taping, huh?
Yeah, we taping.
Oh, my God.
What do you think we've been doing the last 2 days?
No, but I'm thinking there are cameras over here.
We're not live. We're not live.
Today on NBA Uncut.
Yeah, uncut, open and uncut court.
You see what you're wearing on your shirt? It's called a microphone.
Microphone.
You have any superstitions there, big fella?
I tried to develop a superstition on the free throw line. So
Oh, God.
when I would hit
It didn't work.
No, it didn't. No, it didn't.
Anything. That doesn't work.
Work at all.
Anyway, before I was really interrupted,
You think you were
I used to
really
shoot
interrupted?
it, And then when I make one, I try to do the same thing, but then when I miss, then I would have to change it up again. But other than that, I would have to have 4 pieces of gum right before the game, put the gum under the seat. I'd have to wear 2 pair of socks, and I would have to drive the same way every day. And you know.
Wait, I need 4 pieces of gum. 4 pieces of gum, and I need to put them under the seat.
I'd have to wear 2 pair of socks, and I would have.
Hold on.
4 pieces of gum right before the game, put the gum under the seat. I'd have to wear 2 pair of socks, and I would have to drive the same way every day. And you know what? It does have power over you, because like if I miss one of those things, like I always felt I was gonna have a bad game.
So
wow, okay, those are unique ones.
Every time you miss the free throw, you got a new superstitions. You got a lot of superstitions.
First of all, I shot 57%. That means miss one and make one. Cut it out. I wasn't that
First of all,
bad.
that'd be 50%.
Whatever.
It's in the neighborhood.
0.7 to it, yes.
Did you ever do the same thing night in, night out?
No, I never. You know,
Never ate the same thing for pregame?
Okay, the only other thing, but it wasn't a ritual. It was my free throw. I stole from Michael Jordan as well. I'm such a punk ass. 3 dribbles, spin, bend the knees, swish.
Meal?
No, he never did. First of all,
He ate everything.
that was there. No. Whatever. Listen, when in my heyday, I would get, people talk, people say, what do you eat for a pregame meal? I said, well, 2 fish fillets, a large fry, and a Diet Coke. That's what I had. Or I would go to Kentucky Fried Chicken pregame and get 4 legs, a mashed potato.
Oh my God.
Whoa. That's
look at Ernie. Look at Ernie. He's loving it. Dude, how one of the greatest basketball players of all time ate all that starch right before a game. Like, how are you going to go out there and perform? I don't understand.
That's 4 legs. 4 legs. Oh, yeah. I love 4 legs.
Or human legs.
I did, but no, it's so funny. We were doing a game last year. One of the announcers said something about, hey, a guy had a monster game. And I said, ooh, man, if I was him, I'd drive to the game the same way. And I got on there. I said, that's the stupidest thing I ever heard. You drive away. You look at the traffic report and see which way got less traffic. You don't drive to a game a certain way just because you had a good game.
Steve Courage, you got some super.
Yeah, every game I would avoid eating 2 fish fillets. At that point, I knew I was ready.
Hey, man, that tartar sauce? I love tartar sauce.
Oh, no.
How about it, Smitty?
I had a free throw.
By the way, this also shows, though, fast food was different back then, man. Jordan used to eat a bunch of McDonald's before games, too. Like, it was just a different quality than it is now. Now you get sick.
For my mom and my sister who passed away, while I would touch my tattoo, went through that. But I think the strangest superstitious ritual I ever seen was teammate Harold Miner. Everything he had to touch with his nose.
Really?
Before he put his shoes on, he touched his nose.
Baby Jordan?
Before we get on the team bus, he touched the bus with his nose.
Touched the bus with his nose?
I'm serious.
Come on,
But he
everything.
touched the bus with his
Everything
nose.
with his nose. I guess he had a
Did he
feel
explain
thing.
it?
He never explained it. I mean, he would get his shoes before he put them on, and he touched it with his nose. If you watch his free throws, he would touch it with his nose.
You ever see him touch a fish fillet with his nose?
No, I haven't. So that was one of the strangest things as a teammate, seeing Harold.
Anybody here ever close enough to Karl Malone?
You ever put a fish fillet in his nose?
At the free throw line to hear what he was saying?
No. Really?
Yeah.
I've heard people ask Carl about that. I don't think guys want to tell you what they're saying. Because I've heard that, everybody's always tried to guess what Carl was saying. And they've asked Carl what he was saying. And he said, I'm not going to tell you, because he wanted to keep it private.
Yeah, I don't blame him.
Superstitions. And
It does make me wonder, though. I always did wonder back then, what the hell is he saying? I always thought it was like a prayer or something, but who really knows?
things that aren't superstitions all being discussed
Nice guitar line.
here on Open Court on NBA TV.
And in the NBA, to me, the charge rule I would totally take out.
You would have no charges in the NBA. You just let guys run over people.
Hey, this is the NBA.
Shaq, how many points would you have?
No charges?
60,000.
Yeah. Could you imagine Shaq with no charging? No offensive fouls? Holy crap. I get what he's saying, though. Like, that could have maybe taken away flopping.
You can get
Like,
caught
you said
up.
take it. That's why I would not look, because I saw
get
Shaq
caught
over there
up.
wild. I just drink my water, because don't blame it on me.
That's awesome. I like that they kept that into it. They didn't cut it.
And this will be called against the Pacers. And a technical.
And Chris Webber with 6:34 to go in the third is on the ropes. We're going to see a lot of Scott Pollard.
And that's an easy two. Strict run inside. Look at a foul against Kenny Smith.
He's not having.
All right, this should be fun though, because we're back at that era now where we're all wondering what we would do as commissioner. So it's going to be interesting what they thought back then.
Technical foul, and somebody's been booted. Shaquille O'Neal has been teched and thrown.
Barkley picks up the foul. And 3 on Sir Charles.
Boom.
Yep,
you're done.
Right now. Here comes the technical.
Yep, you earned it. You knew what you were doing.
Now he is hit with a technical. And he better be careful.
Wow, I'm not used to Steve Smith going like this. It was probably something real.
Wilkins out.
He doesn't cry wolf.
Away.
Our esteemed 7-player panelists put in many, many years in the NBA. Some of them bordering on losing control of the situation, as we saw Steve Smith there gesturing. If you guys had the opportunity, if planets collided and suddenly you were the guy calling the shots in the NBA, you were the commissioner, you were king for a day, what do you change?
You know, I despise the zone defense. I think it's taken so much away from the game. You know, from when we first came into the league, you guard your man, and if you could,
this is going to be interesting too, because now we can look and see years later what the effects of not doing these things that they suggested is. I personally am sick and tired of the zone defense as well. I grew up learning both structures, and I prefer man-to-man defense. Like, I think it's more entertaining. And I just think it's way more entertaining to see a matchup like that. See if somebody can shut someone down or if they can overcome someone's great defense. But with all this switching, everything is just all about screen, switch. And eventually when somebody messes up the switch, jumper, got you. It's not the same game.
You guard your man, you couldn't guard a superstar. That's what made the game so beautiful. You send a double team, and then the ball rotated. I know they understand. They say the ball was sticking and not movement, but that was part of the game. I think they've changed the game so much, European style, that it's taken away the big man. And I think also it's taken away the open shot, the corner three when it was a swing. And that was the beauty of basketball. I do not like the zone defense. If you can't guard your man, you just can't play, or you go get help.
We'll go right down the order.
I agree. And that era was different because, not that era, everything up until the most recent era, it was different because if you couldn't stay with your man, you couldn't defend, then you sat on the bench. Ask Steve Kerr here. That's why one of the greatest shooters of all time played pretty much his entire career off the bench. Why? Because he wasn't that good of a man-to-man defender. Nowadays, it doesn't matter. You just play your area. And then you also can't touch anybody or else you get a foul called on you. So it's more just like you're monitoring an area than you're actually playing defense nowadays. And you're like, it's just different, man.
Reggie.
Well, I don't know if this would be a rule change, but, looking at that piece, our officials take so much heat, especially come playoff time. They're always getting, talking about, possibly payoffs, and they call things differently on the road and so forth. There's 3 officials now, and I know there's a 4th in the locker room. I would bring that official out and have him sit at the table and watch the game on a monitor. And I would love, just like in football, I know this might put on another 5 minutes or so.
Oh, replay center.
Let the coaches have 2 challenges on certain plays to be able to, the next dead ball, be able to ask the official who's monitoring the game to communicate to the on-the-court officials to try to correct the game so people can stop conspiracy theories in our game.
Oddly enough, we did actually do that. We started to go down that path. We still have the challenges and the review center. But I remember for a while when this all started, and maybe Reggie had something to do with this, they would actually have retired, very famous too, retired NBA referee who we all knew and loved. And his job was, he was one of the commentators. He was explaining why something was called a certain way to us, the audience. And I thought that was awesome. It was a great dynamic because he was up in the booth watching everything instead of being on the court trying to see what he can see. He had the view that we had, and he was explaining what was going on. That was a good start. Now we're at a point where no ref can explain any rule, though. So it's weird. We took one step in the right direction, and somehow it led us to this bad place. Because I 100% agree with Reggie Miller here. That's a great thing. I'm glad we did it. But, man, it did not go well at all.
Is the replay as it's used right now not enough for you when they go to the monitor?
You can never have too many eyes on a game. I mean, you look at
Well,
football,
what's challengeable?
At the end of the day, they always get the call correct. Look, we know we travel in our game, but they never call it. So how about having an official there to say that's traveling?
Stop the game and just like at the next break.
At the next
that
dead
was
ball,
a travel.
Look, I know it's going to add on, but baseball games are 5 hours. Football games are 2.5, 3 hours. But let's make sure we get it right.
Man, that's 1-1. One good idea, one bad idea.
That's right. I'm commissioner. I want more eyes. Look, you're the main one talking about officials come playoff time. So how about bring another official out there to watch the monitor?
Why can't you
checks and balances?
Just do a better job of calling the game. I don't think you can replay. What do you use your challenges on? Do you do a challenge on a loose ball? You challenge on a travel? I mean, I think it brings too much into the.
You could challenge on a call. I mean, there's times when Shaq may have gotten an offensive foul when they thought he went into someone's chest, when maybe he didn't. We all flop. I'm the biggest flopper probably in the history of the league.
But then how?
You didn't see nothing yet.
3 baskets were made after that, and then you're challenging it late.
They go back now, don't they?
Oh, but
on
you
a
say,
dead ball?
that was a travel 2 minutes ago. Let's take away those 2 buckets because they happened after the travel. I don't know.
I agree. I agree with that part. I don't know if I would go that far, but to get the call right in the moment, I think that's crucial. I think I can find some middle ground here. I see what Reggie's saying. So both coaches get challenge calls, whatever. They get to have 2 challenges a game, and then all the stipulations that come with it, whether you win or you lose the challenge. Now, if we had one referee on the sideline, like Reggie's saying, just watching the screen, and he gets the ability, like twice a game as well, to challenge a call. You know what I mean? And he's not associated with either team. He just sees something that the guys got wrong, and he says, "Nope, I'm challenging that call." Everyone reviews it, and then it is what it is. You know, I think that would be kind of cool because then you got the eye in the sky saying, "Wait a second, guys, you got something wrong. Let's get this one right." In the moment, though, you can't go back 3 plays, 4 plays later and challenge something because it's already moved on.
I think it gets confusing for all of us.
That's why you're not going to be commissioner.
If I was commissioner, kind of what both of these guys touched on, I'd just take anything subjective out of the game. So the charge is something that there's not a definite rule on. They try to make, okay, if you put your feet outside, it kind of hides the defender. And then the NBA, to me, the charge rule I would totally take out.
You would have no charges in the NBA. You just let guys run over.
It would be fun.
This is the NBA. This is it.
Imagine Giannis right now with no charge. Honestly, they never call him for it anyways. Never mind.
But no.
I think you got your wish. I think you basically got your wish, Webb. I think we're there, man.
10 years. No. Zach, how many points would you have in that rule?
60,000.
But this is the thing. This is the thing I really want to say because I agree with what you're saying. Maybe pull a ref in or maybe do the zone. But I've played against Shaq, and so if Shaq comes down and gives you a bow,
that's not offense.
And it's not But I've been in this game, and he gave me a bow. I go back. He dunks. It's not a charge. I come right back, and I just go like this to Robert Horry, and it's a charge. It has to be the same thing every time.
What is this, rollerball?
No. I'm just saying. I just wish it was a way.
So bad now, is it, huh?
I wish it was a way. I wish it was a way to make sure. I'm done. I don't want to be. I'm just like, hey, there's no charges or define the rule even more.
Just say one thing you wouldn't have to replay. One thing you wouldn't have to replay is was that a charge?
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
That was actually on your side.
All right, how you guys feel about the charge thing? I'm kind of torn because when the charge was becoming big in the 90s, it was pissing me off too. I gotta be honest because I feel like the charge led to flopping because people would oversell the charge. They would lean into the charge and do all kinds of stuff. They needed to draw that call. And then that switched to offense, you know, where on an offense level, if you just stretch it a little bit, it looks like you got hit. If you just flail a little bit and yell out, hey, it looks like you got fouled, you know? So I don't know. But a game without a charging violation, man, we're talking about a whole... I'm down with it. I would be down for 10 years like this and just see where it goes. It would just be like the paint would be like, forget 3 balls. No one would be shooting 3 balls anymore. Everyone's going straight to the paint.
I thought I'd say this, but Commissioner Barkley.
Oh,
go
my
ahead.
God. I want to apologize, Reggie.
Let me just take the charge out the game.
Guess what you're going to say. The game is just fine.
No, I would make players stay in college at least 2 years.
Okay.
You know, one of the things that really hurt our game.
I like it. Even though, like, you know, Kobe and KG and all these guys came out successfully, I think you're too young. 18 years old, I think you're just too young for what's about to come. 20 years old, okay. You know, because you're about to get just a massive amount of wealth and responsibility all at once. 18 years old, man, fresh out of high school, I don't feel like anyone's really ready for that.
While was high school players come to the NBA, and now guys only coming after 1 year. 2 years. I can live with 2 years.
The only problem is, though, like, what if academics are an issue? What if money is an issue? So I don't agree with you have to go to college for 2 years. I would agree you're not eligible to be in the NBA until you're 20 years old. In other words, you can graduate from high school, you can go into the G League, or you can go overseas and play in one of the many professional leagues, and then you're eligible for the draft at age 20. I think that's a better way, because college, you know, it's not everybody can get there. And when you get there, not everybody can stay there. You know what I mean? But everything else, if it's just skills-based, in other words, if you're good enough to make a team, you're part of a team, you know, and then the NBA eligibility comes at 20. I think that's a good middle ground there.
I would do that. I'd make kids have to go to college for 2 years.
Why, Chuck? Why 2?
Well, because as a player, I think your first year is new for you, obviously. And I think after the second year, you're a good enough player. You learned how to play the game a little bit, because you played against men more than 30 games. You played against men for 2 seasons, and you should have gotten stronger. So I really, 3, I think it's a stretch. If I could get 2, I would be really happy with that.
I think it's a maturity thing, too. At 18, none of us are mature enough for what's to come. At 20, you know, you've got a couple of years where you're not a kid anymore and you're an adult and you're starting to understand what this world is.
I would probably, during playoff times, I wouldn't have East and West. I just want the best 12 teams or 18 teams in the NBA, or 16 teams. Rather. I want the best 16 teams in it, regardless of where they are, East or West. And I would pair up. I would want a true champion at the end. I wouldn't care if the Lakers played the Kings in the championship game. I would want the 2 best teams, because the casual fans aren't rooting for East and West. They're rooting for the 2. They're rooting for Sacramento. Or they're rooting for.
So, for instance, if
LA.
the Knicks, for instance, and you would like this, had the number 1 seed and it was the Lakers and the number 16 seed, that's okay.
That's okay. That's okay.
I kind of agree a little bit, because there were so many years where, excuse me, the real finals was, for instance, like the Western Conference Finals, Lakers versus Spurs. How many times? You know? How many times? Or one year it was like Spurs versus Suns in the conference finals. Like, real great matchups. Just to have the actual NBA Finals be kind of a dud, because the East sucked ass back then. You know what I mean? You get like LeBron James and the Cavs coming in and getting swept. Like, we could avoid those kind of huge sweeps during the peak, which should be the greatest matchup of the year. I feel like we might get robbed of something like that this year too, because honestly, I think the best matchup right now, the best rivalry in basketball right now, is OKC and San Antonio. And if we're lucky, we'll get that in a Western Conference Finals. But then we're not seeing that in the championship round. And it would be cool to see something like that.
Okay. But that's the problem with your suggestion. it wouldn't be feasible from I mean, come on, it would be. The Knicks would play the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs, and they'll be going across the country to play a 7-game series. Well, that's how the cookie crumbles, but I'm going to get the best 2 teams at the end. Actually, they do that already. No, you get the best from the East, and you get the best from the West. But I'm sure that last year, the Western Conference might have had 2 teams in there the way it went.
Pretty much the entire 2000s. Nobody in the East would have made it to the finals. And I'm sorry, man. I can go down the list with Philly and New Jersey and Cleveland and, except for maybe Detroit. Detroit would have probably got there because they had good regular season records. But outside of that, like who's making it out of the East? If it wasn't East and West structure, I don't think anybody. And once again, no disrespect to any of these teams or any of these players, but like AI, it wasn't going to happen that year. J-Kid, it wasn't going to happen in New Jersey either. But then we wouldn't see these like 4-1, loss, series or a clean sweep 4-0. When it comes to a juggernaut like the Lakers, the real team that should have been there playing the Lakers in the championship was the Spurs, and it would probably go 6 or 7 games.
I mean, he might not have been the second best team in basketball.
Whatever. No, I see what you say, but I think.
But you think the Miami Heat was the second best team in basketball?
I agree with Kenny on this one.
And do you think that people were rooting for let's go East? They weren't. They weren't going let's go East. They were just rooting for either Miami to win or Dallas to win, and they didn't care regardless of what. Most people don't even know that the Miami Heat.
You want to like college, NCAA, just put in a bracket?
Just put them in. Let's roll. Just like the NCAA. You got to play in Utah sometime. You got to go across the country. Like number 1 seed.
All right, here's how we can find out if you like this, and you guys answer in the comments too. I could care less if a team is on the East or the West. I live on the West. My sons are on the West. When it comes to the NBA Finals, once my sons are eliminated, I'm going after like the team I like the most, and it doesn't matter if it's East or West. I'm looking at the players, the coaching, the structure, and a team that I can get behind and support. For instance, like when I was rooting for the Detroit Pistons, 04, 05, those years, I really liked the way those guys played. So I was rooting for them. They're in the East. It is what it is.
Like I said, Reggie, I apologize.
I'm going to agree with Chuck. 2 years would be great. 3 years would be even better, but I don't think it'll ever happen. But I'm going to disagree with Steve. I think when the league added the zone 10 years ago, I think it actually opened up the game. It made people put smaller lineups on the floor, maybe put more skill guys, more shooters. I would actually go a step further and eliminate the defensive 3-second rule, where you can play whatever defense you want. I mean, basketball, worldwide, it's basketball. If you want to play a zone, well, then it's up to the other team to figure out how to score against it.
Well, one of the reasons why is I think that's what separated pros from college to high school. You play man to man. I think that's what puts you to the next level. I mean, I understand what you're saying. It opened up the game.
That is what we used to say. Yeah, it was a stepping stone. By the time you get to the pros, no one can save you. Like you're out there on an island. You better be able to defend by then.
But I think it took away stars.
My problem though was when with that illegal defense rule, teams used to just park Greg Ostertag way up here, so Shaq used to have to go up and stand on the corner. They were all these kind of weird. To me, it's basketball. You gotta figure it out if you're the coach.
You remember in the finals? I was totally shocked between Game 1 and Game 6 how the Miami Heat struggle against the zone. I was like, and I actually think the zone is the easiest defense to play against.
Right.
But to watch the Miami Heat struggle against the zone from Game 1 to Game 6, I'm sitting at home screaming at the television like, are you kidding me?
But Chuck, I was
like, yo, they should have just had
the
no
zone
charge.
hides.
But no, the Miami Heat, I'm saying the Heat.
Maybe some of us need to be hidden.
But that's why you shouldn't be a pro. You know what I mean? I just think you cannot. If you can't guard your guy, it's okay. Back in the day, you just have to go double team.
I would probably be the most unorthodox owner here. What I would do is add a penalty box.
Okay, hockey style?
At the end of the game, the guys that want to fight got to get in the penalty box. And I think that would eliminate most of the fake tough guys that we have around the league.
So how would the penalty box work?
Just like in hockey, you got to fight.
That's not how it works. You go into the penalty box because you fight, and then you have to play for a penalty period where you have one less person on the court. So you'd be playing four versus 5.
You got to fight to get in.
They put him in the penalty box after that.
Right, Ernie?
So you said fight in the box?
Well, I don't watch hockey, so I don't really...
What the hell, Shaq?
But all I know is...
In Shaq's brain, he thinks the penalty box is 2 hockey players having a fist fight. What the hell, dude?
Really? Listen, all I know is when I watch the highlights. When I watch the highlights, I see them fight.
They fight on the ice, Shaq.
But I don't know nothing about that.
Reggie, I apologize.
You've heard it here
Shaq's
on
fired.
Open Court, a league with a wide open playoff system.
Without question.
No geography.
No charges
into that. No charges. A penalty box.
Where they fist fight.
Who knows?
4 reps. 4 reps.
4 reps.
Really
challenging it.
4 hours in.
And everyone's got to go to college for 2 years.
Unlimited replays. Ooh, I love this game.
Damn.
Steve Kerr, who's the best actor in this crew?
Kazam, baby, me.
Oh, boy.
Who's the best actor,
I think
Steve?
Shaq was most impressive. And that
You didn't like the right guard spot?
I couldn't really understand serendipitous when it was coming out. I didn't know what that word meant.
Hey, Chuck was pretty good in Space Jam. I don't know if I'd call him an actor. He was playing himself. So, I don't know. I rescind my comment. I downvote my own shit.
But with right guard sports stick, one gets maximum protection. And with a plethora of ambrosial aromatics, it is virtually impossible to pick up the wrong scent.
Wow, I forgot about this commercial.
Well, off to the foxes. Sports stick. Anything left?
Civilized.
I'm the cool cat. Read all that. Every book from front to back.
So no matter
Okay,
who
I
you
like
are
that.
or what you plan to do, learn how to read. It opens up a whole new world.
Shaq and the Beanstalk?
It's a good thing he doesn't play basketball.
5, 7, 6, 8.
Lottie?
Oh, okay, C-Web. Feet work.
Oh, no, C-Web.
Feet work. Oh.
Cheese and gordita crunch tomorrow.
Okay. I ate a cheesy gordita crunch right now.
If you haven't guessed, we're talking about commercials these guys have been involved in, and I think
Okay. I think Charles had the best commercials by far.
Probably the largest amount of laughter came.
Large is an understatement.
Well,
Well,
I don't know if it was your first one.
it was my
When
first
you were
one.
in the, I know the one they're laughing at.
Right guard.
Oh, when I was the fat guy?
No, the right guard.
The skinny guy.
You know what was really funny
Yeah, it
about
was
that
skinny.
commercial?
Which one?
We played the right guard.
With the foxes.
It took 2 days to shoot that commercial. It was freezing. We shot it in Charlottesville, Virginia. But if you look at the full commercial, I made up my mind I would never work with animals again. I'm sitting there, let's see. In a civilized society, a personal grooming lapse can result in a mortifying loss of station. So it behooves one to emanate the proper air. Thanks to the serendipitous discovery of right guard sports stick.
Good.
The
Can you
thing
say
that
it
was
with
funny,
your eyes
number one,
open? That's good.
first of all, I don't usually say those words.
Yeah. Him saying that and then immediately saying, first of all.
That was annoying about that commercial. Every time, like, I'm really concentrating trying to get the words, and then the horse would move. So you have to start over.
Darn horses.
And I was like, then they got, then the dogs in there.
Yeah.
They started barking in the middle of, and I want to kill the horses and right about it. I was like, man, please, Peter,
Did you actually ride the horses?
I did not. My horse stayed still the whole time.
I thought on that commercial it started
off
leaving.
a little bit. Well, I might have moved a little bit, but in that little thing in the back.
Did you have a stunt double riding your
I
horse?
always have a stunt double. But you know, Ernie, commercials, it's interesting to make commercials. Most of us have all been in commercials. Like for like a minute or a 30-second commercial, you're there like 8 to 10 hours. It's like, are you kidding me?
Did they let you keep the outfit?
Well,
there ain't no way he can fit in that now. I'll tell you that right now. I'll pay whatever. You get in that outfit.
You know the thing that was funny also about those riding boots I got? Those boots didn't fit. So they had to put, like they made them 2 sizes too small for some reason. I don't remember why. So they had to put a trash bag on my legs and baby powder.
What?
So once I put the shoes on, I had to keep them on.
Night.
Trash can. I mean, it's fun making commercials, but I tell you what though, man, that one commercial, I'm huge.
What, the Taco Bell?
The Country Gordita.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
My goodness.
Yeah, you were large.
That might have been HD. Those are like professional ones. But we've all did like local TV, local market commercials. No, we haven't. Yeah, we've done them before. No, you have. When you first get into the town and then all of a sudden they'll say, well,
they're called commercials. Those are more like promos.
No, but they'll say, no, you come and do this and we'll have, you get a free.
Like you're doing the big red furniture barn or something.
Yeah, like exactly. and it was, I had to do a bed commercial, and it was like, sleep like a king, and I'm a Sacramento, and I fall back into a bed, and I kept hitting my head on the bed.
They're just so time consuming. They're fun to do. Obviously, you're pitching your product, and you want kids to go out and buy the shoes or use the right guard or eat Taco Bell. Why, I don't know. You telling kids to eat Taco Bell, but
I like Taco Bell. Yeah.
And now you do?
I do now.
Even today you do?
I do.
And now he's lost all that weight on the Ozempic. I'm sure he misses the Taco Bell.
No, violation.
Yours was for the team. You and Vlade working with the.
That was cute.
The dance team.
That was cute. That was cute. Okay.
Yeah, but that was fun. The NBA asked us doing a promo, but the one commercial I do remember that kind of got us in trouble, of course, is the one we talked about Chuck. And what was great is that Nike, when they did commercials, their whole thing was don't act, be yourself. And so we get to a barbershop, and it's Joe Torre. It's a bunch of comedians in the barbershop, so they're just joking the whole time. And I just remember that was the shortest shoot. Maybe we were there 2 hours, and guys were talking, and he was like, oh, that was funny. You can leave now. Kind of like working here when, guys would tell you just to talk and do it. So, for me, that was a good experience.
Shaq, you enjoyed that?
Yeah, I've always tried to just, make people laugh. Since I'm the CEO of my own commercial company, I get a lot of my own commercials. My favorite commercial was when I first came in. Reebok designed the commercial for me. I didn't like the way it went, so I wanted to be recognized as a great big man, so I designed the Don't Fake the Funk on the Nasty Dunk commercial where I knock, come in, all the other great centers see me, dunk, break the glass, they tell me to pick it up. So luckily, every commercial you've seen for the past 20 years has been written and directed by me. Thank you very much.
That's a line I haven't heard in a long time. Don't fake the funk on a nasty dunk. I do remember though, sir.
Steve,
I do remember.
Who's the best actor in this crew?
Kazam, baby, me.
Kazam. You gonna hang your hat on Kazam?
I was asking.
No,
who's the best actor?
I mean, maybe if you said Blue Chips, Kazam was terrible. It was terrible.
Shaq was most impressive. And that
you didn't like the right guard spot?
I couldn't really understand serendipitous when it was coming out. I didn't know what that word meant.
I think they're all fun. I mean, I've been doing commercials. I'm not talking about y'all. I'm talking about mine. Okay, but I think the one I was most embarrassed about, going back looking at, I did a inside stuff with Nikki Taylor and the late Chrissy Taylor, the models, and I was trying to be cool. It was 90 degrees, and I had on jeans, jacket, and a hat because I did not want to be in the swimsuit. Obviously, because my muscles were itch. I didn't want to be in the
Right. Got it.
Trying to keep it real.
Exactly.
Didn't look good. But I'm in jeans and a jacket and a hat.
Has any commercial you've done gotten more reaction than the role model commercial?
No, the role model is probably the thing
people still talk about.
Yeah, that was a big one.
I am not a role model. I'm not paid to be a role model.
Yes, sir.
I am paid to wreak havoc on the basketball court. Parents should be role models.
Absolutely.
Just because I dunk a basketball doesn't mean I should raise your kids.
Absolutely.
Well, and that's
it's a big statement, man. Especially now we're in the era of a bunch of fake role models who are actually like terrible, terrible human beings, but they play the role as a role model. I'd much prefer someone straight up being like Chuck and just saying, I'm not a role model. Don't look to me for that kind of guidance. I'm a basketball player, man, you know?
Trying to do when I made the commercial when I went to Nike because, listen, the college scene is what it is. We can go back and forth about players getting paid, not getting paid, whatever. But the truth of the thing is, I want these young kids, especially the young black kids, to realize these colleges, these universities are going to make a fortune on these guys. I want these kids to stop thinking about they're all going to be in the pros to get their education. That's the reason. And I knew I wanted to just start a debate so I could say what I wanted to say. And I did. It worked out perfect. But I tell these kids, you're not going to play pro sports. You're going to make these colleges a lot of money. The only way to level the playing field is for you to get your education. So that's probably the thing I'm most proud of today.
Commercials with this esteemed panel of 7 on Open Court on NBA TV.
What is your go-to karaoke
Frank
song?
Sinatra, My Way. Then I've been. I did it my
way. Yep. Oh no. I'm telling you why.
Reggie Miller.
Oh, this one I was on Reggie.
Oh man.
I love a nice warm reception.
Why did Reggie have a show, man?
But then again, anytime I step into a house, I kind of always do warm it up, so.
Get the hell out of here, Reggie. Come on, man.
When it comes to plays, you can't taste mine, so don't waste time. Cause I can take the baseline to baseline.
Okay.
I got loot. See, I see how them stars feel. Back in the days, I caught wreck as a Tar Heel.
Okay, that was all right.
I'll drill it in from 3-point land.
Oh, is that Steve Kerr at Arizona?
Wow.
SxADk, yeah. Supercalifragilisticexpialidocious. I had this single, man.
Now stand right down and make sure it's right.
Wow.
Well, thank you, brother.
That was cool. That was really cool.
One of the great all-star moments in the intros was that one. Right
that was
there,
great.
I
like that one.
How long did you rehearse that with those guys?
I didn't rehearse at all. And let me tell you why. Growing up, we all wanted to be different people. So for me, growing up in Newark, New Jersey, it was all about the J's. On the way to the park, I wanted to be LL Cool J. So I had the rope chain, I had the Kango, I had the boombox. Then when I got to the court, I wanted to be Dr. J. So, you know, we all have dreams, and, you know, we all try to follow our dreams. And coming in 1992, I had many opportunities, and I just tried to, you know, take advantage of all those opportunities.
You were actually, your rookie year, you were on the set with me back in our old studio as a playoff analyst. And before we went on the air, we looked over and you were jotting some stuff down. We said, what are you doing? I said, I'm writing some rap. And it's like, really? How about your music career, man? How's that taking off, the rap thing? I saw you with Fooshnickens.
A little bit, I'm writing some, rapping some. Just waiting to see.
And then a couple of years later, here comes your first album.
And I think that album went double platinum.
It did.
Yeah, it was big time.
I bought 6 or 7
It was
on my
good.
own.
Shaq was on the radio, man. It was a different time. Good times. The food stickers.
Still giving them out to friends. Why is it that athletes want to be entertainers and entertainers want to be athletes?
I think that everyone appreciates the work that the other side does, but there's a marriage there's a pool that you go into that when you grow up, you don't just want to be a basketball player. You don't just want to be a rapper. You don't just want to be a singer. So you're pretty much in that same pool of what grows up. So I grew up in New York City. I wanted to be a rapper growing up, and then I wanted to be a basketball player as well. But that was my pool of friends. Some of them made it in that area. Some of them kind of made it. Some of them never made it. I was the never made it side in a rapper. So my alter ego was always, I'm a critic when it comes to that. So I think it's because we all swim in the same pool.
It's about being on stage, really. You know,
yeah, Reggie was a performer for sure.
Was our stage, but look, and you guys all know I am the biggest Michael Jackson fan ever, and the way he commanded the audience's attention.
When you used to do that intro
with Haywood
Workman,
you know,
that was the best intro for two guys coming out when you did the whole Michael Jackson.
It's the whole thing. You want to command, obviously respect by the way you play, but the way the fans and 16, 17, 18,000, you want them up on their feet. And, watching Michael Jackson, Prince, James Brown, the way they commanded their audiences, that's kind of the reason why I think both of them kind of intertwine a little bit.
Smitty.
I had no rapping skills. So I think, look at it, music in basketball to me, I think everybody had a love for music because I always played music going into the games. You asked me going into the games, I was the best singer, the rapper, but I knew my limitations. So I stuck to basketball, but I think as a fan, you just appreciate what they do, the preparation, getting a chance to be around the entertainers, what they put into it, just the same, vice versa, the same for us.
Do most of these entertainers have any game at all? Like entertainers who want to be athletes and want to...
Justin Timberlake.
JT.
Timberlake. Baseline.
Cardboard.
Hey, shout out to, I can't remember his name right off the what the hell is his name? Jaheel White? Urkel. Urkel could hoop a little back in the day.
Kenny said, I think that you look at all these entertainers, they love sports because actually everybody kind of starts out in sports. Like every kid plays sports. Yeah. Like it size, athletic ability separates, but like every little kid is gonna go and play some type of sport in your neighborhood. I mean, and then like I say, the talent weeds you out. That's why I think entertainers like sports because they started out playing sports, then they became great entertainers. But I can't think of any kid who didn't play some type of sport in the neighborhood, because that's what you do, especially poor kids. We don't get to go to the country clubs and things like that. We play football. We played basketball. That's just the way it is. And all jocks, I think it's a thing, everybody wants to be able to sing. Mm-hmm. Like everybody sings in the shower. Everybody, I'm a big karaoke guy.
I'm sorry.
I got some video. I do. I
would like to see that video.
Karaoke. I know I can't sing.
What is your go-to karaoke
Frank
song?
Sinatra, my way.
Wow.
Can we get a verse? Can we get a couple bars? I have to have the words, fool. That's what.
I have to have the words for my way.
I don't know it. You don't know your go-to song? How about just the very end?
I got to have the words, fool.
I lived a life that's full.
Yeah.
The mistakes I made a few, but through it all, I've been up and I've been down. I did it my way.
I went to Taco Bell.
You don't even get the chorus.
That's your go-to song?
Well, as I always say, that's the reason they call them karaoke singers.
That defies description, what you just did.
That was pretty brutal.
That was unbelievable. You had an album out, didn't you?
Yeah, no, I actually, I had an album and I stopped it from coming out, but
was that bad?
It leaked out. Well,
that bad?
It was bad, but I didn't.
It wasn't that bad.
Gangsta. It's all about a salary. It's all about.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I love this place.
Have you guys heard this? Obviously, Shaq has heard this.
I love y'all.
I want to hear this.
Wow, but yeah, growing up, I had to, wow. I can't even shake that one. I just got to take that one.
Sometimes, man.
But growing up, you said Cool J, and then you got to the court. So to me, I had two posters in my room. It was Big Daddy Kane, because he had a high top fade, dark skin, and it was Dominique. He had a high top fade. And when we played basketball, in the hood, wherever we were, we had music playing. It was so really everything really goes hand in hand. Before you play the game, you listening to music, so, and you grow up and you dream and you do stupid stuff like that.
I know what you're saying, my man.
That's a dope song, actually.
Gangsta.
Who's the best entertainer that you met? Who's, when you were playing and, when you play out in L.A. or something like that, who did you really want to meet out there?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, I'd like to just say this. As a young boy, I always dreamt of becoming a rapper. And when Vanilla Ice hit it big, I realized, there is hope for guys like this.
Did you guys ever see that he tried to go metal? He tried to be like a metal band, Vanilla Ice. I don't think it went so well. I think he's refurbishing houses now.
That great University of Arizona song that really, swept the nation that year.
Your song was Gangsta Gangsta too?
Something like that.
That was dope. What's up, Corrupt? I did that with Corrupt, by the way. That was nice,
But no, I think, Charles talked about this earlier. When you go to L.A. and you play in a game, in the Forum back in the day or Staples, and you see all those stars, whether they're...
It's a rush.
It's unbelievable. It's a great feeling.
I was talking about that earlier. You see Jack Nicholson over there. Everybody loves Jack Nicholson. Then you see Stallone. Then you see Schwarzenegger. Then you see Denzel. And you're like... And it's I'm from a small town in Alabama. And then you're like, wow, look at these people. And this was when Rocky was big. Denzel was doing Soldier Story.
Terminator.
Arnie was the
Jack
biggest.
Nixon done everything.
And they know who you are. So you're like, dang, that guy knows me. I'm a fan of his, so it was,
Which entertainer had the best game, you think? Basketball game, hoop game you saw or played against? Brian McKnight for me.
Yeah.
Brian McKnight.
You know who can really play?
Wow, McKnight.
T.O., and I'm going to regret saying this. T.O. is a terrific basketball player.
I seen him. Yeah, I seen him hoop. He could hoop.
A terrific athlete.
But no, he's a good basketball player.
Yeah, Randy Moss was good, too. He was Mr. Basketball.
Randy Moss used to play with White Chocolate in college. Basketball.
All right, that's Open Court. It's on NBA TV.
And Justin Timberlake.
I never saw him perform in person. I never got a chance to see it, and that's one of the great regrets of my life. But I just love Michael Jackson.
Everybody's debating Prince, Michael, who's better. I would pick
Who
Michael.
debate that?
A lot of people debate it, Charles.
It's similar to Elvis and what's his name right now. Sorry, still hungover. The Ring of Fire guy. I just can't remember right now.
There's much more Open Court on NBA TV and on NBA.com. Just curious, guys, if you had to name the greatest entertainer you've ever seen. Now, it doesn't have to be live, but just the greatest entertainer. It could be an actor, could be a singer, could be a magician.
Can I go first so somebody else take my guy?
Go ahead, Chris.
Okay, I'm gonna go with Stevie Wonder. You think about all the music Stevie Wonder's done. You think about what he's done from the time he was young. You think about all the hits that he's written. Only Song Publishing. To me, Stevie Wonder is just by far the best singer-songwriter.
That's interesting. I know Shaq believes that Stevie Wonder is not blind at all.
And I got to see him live.
Michael Jackson. I'm the biggest. I love Michael Jackson. God rest his soul. I love Michael Jackson. That's all I can say. When he died, I actually cried. It was like a death in my family.
Have you seen him? Did you see him perform?
I never saw him perform in person. I never got a chance to see it, and that's one of the great regrets of my life. But I just love Michael Jackson.
The only thing I'll say about Michael Jackson is because there's a lot of directions we can go, but that dude, he did command a crowd like I've never seen anybody else do. He was one hell of a performer.
Michael Jackson groupie. Off the wall thriller Michael Jackson.
Groupie. There's 3. Jackson 5. Did you see him
I'm gonna let you go with that one.
3 times. The Victory Tour, when Dangerous Tour, and then that CBS special, 30th anniversary special.
What made it special?
The way he captivated the audience. There was no one like him.
Steve.
Michael Jackson for me to entertain, but the Prince, I saw him live. He put on an unbelievable show, and everybody's debate Prince, Michael, who's better. I would pick
Who
Michael.
debate that?
A lot of people debate it, Charles. I say Michael, but a lot of people do debate it.
Best show I ever seen was called Generation X. It had Steve Vai, Nuno Betancourt, Tosin Abasi, Zach Wilde, some of the greatest guitarists of all time. And the thing is they didn't put on individual sets. They all came together and played on each other's songs and like played a bunch of cover songs to the crowd. And it was the coolest thing, man. The coolest thing. At one point, I had Zach Wild, who was the Aussie guitarist for a long time. He was actually in the crowd, standing right next to me, peering off a balcony, shredding his ass off. And I'm literally like within inches, just watching him do it. Like, coolest show I've ever been. Most entertaining thing I've ever seen. But you gotta love guitar in order to enjoy a show like that.
Prince live, and Prince was a special show.
Shaq.
I'm gonna have to go with Notorious B.I.G. and Tupac. The way they just, the way they just made you feel a certain type of way.
Pac would have been cool to see.
Second, I will go with Jay-Z. Those guys are just great entertainers.
I know we took your answer, but go ahead, Steve.
Actually did, Michael Jackson. In high school, I think it was the MTV Awards when he moonwalked.
Mm-hmm.
That was like, I just remember everybody the next day at school was like so blown away.
That's true. We all tried to moonwalk.
Jet, you have the last word.
I mean, all those are great entertainers, but I think for sports, the most captivating one for all of us, I think, was Muhammad Ali. So whenever he would fight, I cry when he lost to Frazier. He was the most captivating figure to watch.
I didn't get to watch Muhammad fight like that, unfortunately. I knew a lot about him, and I saw him at the end. For me, it was prime Mike Tyson. That was like, we're all talking about it a week ahead, and we're all thinking, does the guy get out of the first round? It was a very exciting build-up to watch Mike Tyson. Unfortunately, the show, during that time, the show would last like 2 minutes, and then the fight was over because Mike Tyson was just that good.
And entertaining for me.
I know that, I know Ali is one of
He's my
yours.
personal hero.
Yeah.
He's probably the greatest influence of my life as far as, not like my grandmother and anybody like that, but Ali was just a man. And it's an honor. He lives out by me now in Arizona, and it just gives me goosebumps and pride when I see him.
Get a chance to see him every now and then?
Every now and then. He doesn't go out in public a lot, but every time I got to meet him a little bit before everything set in, and just told him what an influence he was in my life, and I'll always be appreciative.
I met him, I had the chance to meet him in 1990 at the Goodwill Games in Seattle when we were televising that on TBS, and was on an elevator when he got in with one of his handlers and a young boxer who was going to be competing at the Goodwill Games. And I was sitting in the corner of there. I said, wow, here's Muhammad Ali. And I shook his hand. And then he went into this whole routine with this kid he had in the corner of the elevator. And
really?
And it came to my floor. I just let the door close. And I rode up, I just watched the rest of the act, and then went back down to my room. And it was
That's cool, man.
All right, it's open court. It's NBA TV. Thanks for watching.
That was kind of a sudden ending. All right, that was cool though, man. Yeah, shout out to Muhammad Ali. Shout out to all these guys. That was a really, really, really cool video. I guess tomorrow we're back to business as usual. But it was nice to take a break. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope I see a lot of cool comments down below with all of your guys' experiences. You heard my point of view on all of this stuff and my experiences, so it's your time now. And I think I'm going to go ahead and just end it right there, because the cool thing about open court episodes is like, we just, I get to talk to you guys about the stuff as it's coming up. So there's no real now to wrap it up in a nice bow. No, because we'll be back here next month doing the same exact thing. So everybody, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you all in the comments. Like the vid on the way out if you could. I'd appreciate it. And most importantly is to be water, my friends. Gangsta, gangsta.